Living in Boulder vlog. It's the 18th right now, so I guess that's for today. And so then I skipped yesterday. It's 6 in the morning on Monday. I just didn't get around to doing my video yesterday. Too busy. I did go to the store though, and I got energy drink. Oh yeah, and some cherry sour candies because the candies were on sale for 88 cents. And I got the energy drink for $2. So, yeah, because I talked to my mom in the morning, and she said that she didn't want to go to the gym because she was organizing her office. So I was happy about that because, anytime organizing is good. Yeah, so, and I was needing to stay here, so I just worked all day. I finished, for some reason, I couldn't find any place to download the border of the different national wildernesses here, so I had to look at maps and do it. So I built that today. Longs Peak Wilderness, the ones around here, I think I'll do the forest later, but yeah, Longs Peak Wilderness, and then, at Mount Evans Wilderness, and then Vasquez Wilderness, which is just outside of, next to Winter Park, and then there's Berg Wilderness, I think, which is next to that. But in between, it's experimental forest area, and then the other one up north, Never Summer, and then finished James Peak, and then I did Peak, Indian Peaks yesterday, but I was doing tracing trails on Winter Park and other places too, after that, for the last hour or whatever, I was doing roads coming off of James Peak Wilderness, because I'm looking at that as an area. In fact, I tilted Google Earth, so I'm looking towards the west, kind of at an angle at the mountains, and looking at Boulder in the mountains, and I see how Mount Evans kind of comes out towards the east, like a horn like this, before it kind of the mountains kind of give way to the plain, and St. Louis Plain, and but then on the right side, on the north side, there's Longs Peak, and then you have Trail Ridge Road that goes up, but then just north of that, you have these mountains, and those kind of jut out toward the east, and so then Longs Peak, Mount Evans, and then those other mountains just north of Estes Park that I think are in the Rocky Mountain National Park. The last north of Front Range, where there's after there's just nothing. So kind of comes out the same as Mount Evans. And so it's like these two horns, and they're about the same distance from Boulder. Boulder's exactly in the middle. So I was like, oh, that's so symmetrical. I love that. So I was just going to be like, all right, yeah. Because I was just make the roads on all of that. Because I was going to make the roads on all of everything until the south, until Mount Evans. Because Mount Evans is wilderness. So I want to do all the trails on that because it's wilderness. And then everything north of I-70, because that's within one day's biker distance, even though I've never really done any of those rides. But they're about as far as north as once north. So yeah, because there's a ride that goes into Fort Collins. So yeah, that's awesome. So I think in everything in there, I'm just going to do a road, because the polygon tool really draws the roads out. And so that way I can block out, because when you're looking at all the roads on Google Earth, you just see the roads, but you also see the roads that go up to dead-end roads. you know, and like long driveways and stuff. And so it kind of looks like this massive roads, and the roads kind of, you know, melts in with the force lot. So to make the draw on the roads, but to block out the dead end roads, it's just the ones that go places, you know, ones you'd want to do on a ride. It would make it look really cool. So that's that's the project I'm doing in conjunction with building all the roads, is patching the earth with, you know, screen captures of the terrain. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do later. I actually just do that before I was making these roads. So, yeah, the computer gets like a little bit overcooked. You know, the roads take forever to appear, but I think if you kind of hold it there for after a few seconds, they all appear. So, but it looks really, really cool, and it'll be a good way to identify them too, because I'm doing them by road. But yeah, because I was always really interested in what the roads look like. You know, what it looks like back there, and I mean, I was like getting lost, like. The road that goes up from Lawrenceville up to, oh man, what's that road called? Up to like James Peak. It's like at the absolute limit of what my van can do. We did it last summer with Kirsten, and but then we did it the summer like before last, and you know, like I came up and went down the way we were last summer, but then the summer before last, I went down some other road, but then I kind of get lost. I don't remember which one. So, and you know, when you go around, it's like that. So if you have it all mapped, like a spider web, it's like it's going to look really cool, and also it'll make it. It'll have an effect as making it kind of shrinking it and making it big at the same time. It'll shrink it into that. You'll see all the roads, so you'll be able to figure it out. You'll be able to memorize every square inch of the area. By looking at all the roads. And, and I also want to, you know, after I'm done with this, put the line tool on it and find out the data and write it in, how far it is. I'm super curious. See how far these different areas are. You know, like to know how far it is from the parking lot at Rollins parking lot to, and over the pass to Winter Park. Because, you know, if you want to ride in there, you can go over. Yeah, I'd like to know how far that is, like how long it'd be. And you can use Strava for a lot of that too. Strava levels segments to know how long it'll take to get between places. If I think there's some long ones, and if not, there need to be more. So it'll totally motivate me to do it. You know, I'm looking at this going, oh my God, why didn't I buy a mountain bike? How about a road bike here last summer and a year ago? And now I'm thinking, oh man, I want a mountain bike now. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, I also want a fat bike. Because that'd be cool to do mountain biking in the wintertime. Yeah, because there's like a dearth of videos about that, so it'd be cool to make videos. So, I was using all day long tracing the downhill trails on Winter Park, and it's there's a lot of them. It takes a long time because they're really narrow, and I wanted to make them look the exact, you know, distance or width of them. And that's super interesting to look at. Yeah, I didn't do any work on the trails in the Flatirons. I want to put a trail between every single Flatiron. And, cause yeah, and then number them. And because like what I was saying, to make it small and big at the same time, I'll make it look huge because you just have all these different trails. You know, you're finally like, oh my God, there's hundreds and hundreds of them. It'd be interesting to know how many there are. So maybe 400, because that's how many leaders you had in the Senate in ancient Rome. Anyways, let's keep this under 10 minutes. Talk to you tomorrow.